Hey everyone, so this week I am uploading a video every single day for 5 days talking about topics around gay sex and other sexual behaviours that are not spoken enough about in the world to make them more normal, because they are normal and people should be able to talk about them. And today we start with masturbation. According to Google, masturbation is to stimulate one's genitals for own... Let's start that again. According to Google, masturbation is to stimulate one's genitals for their own sexual pleasure, or someone else's genitals for their sexual pleasure, or your own, even if you get off from watching that, that's fine. Masturbation is a very normal human behaviour and generally increases significantly during your teenage years or through puberty. Today I'm mainly going to be talking about men, but there's still so much mystery around this behaviour and I don't know why. Masturbation is usually the first overt self-gratification sexual act for the majority of men and women. Here are some facts on it from menssexualhealth.org. In a recent survey, 95% of men and 89% of women have reported to have masturbated. It is the second most common sexual behaviour, even with people who have a frequent sexual partner. During adolescence, the percentage across both sexes who perform genital self-stimulation and self-gratification increases significantly, especially for men, and continues into their adulthood and for the majority of their own lives. The rest of their lives. Their own lives? Of course it's their own lives. Most men who masturbate tend to do so more than women, and in the vast majority of cases, almost every case, they report reaching orgasm from self-stimulation. Masturbation can be harmful when it becomes compulsive. Compulsive genital stimulation, just like any compulsive behavior, is usually the sign of or is a symptom of an emotional problem and can lead to addiction. So more or less 90% of people engage in masturbation. That's a lot, really, and it's still considered a taboo when it's spoken about. Isn't that weird to you? Like, I've always found it really odd in film and TV when films that have some sort of sexual act in it receive higher classifications, or are more likely to receive a higher classification or rating, and yet and it's a normal human behavior. Yet films with people getting shot or people getting faces ripped off generally receive lower classifications, and that's undesired behaviour, killing people. I've always found that weird in film and TV, but anyway, that's the way the cookie crumbles, clearly. And also, how often would you ever see a character masturbating in a film or television show? Never. Nyak. I still remember my first ever time masturbating. I don't know how I knew about it. I must have heard it from friends or in like a sexual health class, but I did it in the shower, which apparently is a mistake. And when orgasm was reached, keep in mind, the first time I've ever experienced it, I almost fainted. I got really lightheaded and almost like literally collapsed on the ground. I have no idea why. I guess I've never experienced that feeling before, and because it was such an undesired feeling, I avoided doing it again for ages. But of course, naturally, going through adolescence, going through puberty, the sexual urges took over and you inevitably tried again, and obviously I didn't have an issue from that point onwards, but yeah, that was a bit weird and I remember that really clearly. Do you remember your first time masturbating? Did you have the same sort of reaction as me? Do you talk about it in your groups of friends? Is it something that you engage with a lot? Is you never engage with it? Is it, what are your opinions? What are your views? Let's talk in the comments below. Tomorrow I'm talking about types of gay fetishes. This is something that we all know about, but often just push it aside and call people weird for having them. But we're gonna find out some interesting ones tomorrow and talk about them, normalize them, because everyone has something that's a little bit left of field, let's be honest.